Good morning, everybody. What's going on? It's your guy, Pat Bernard, on a cloudy Sunday morning here in Philadelphia. Well, a lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of ugly is your norm in Philadelphia sports. So, how do I want to get into this? How do I want to, where should I go? Where should I start? And I'm going to start, of course, because I feel like I know I typically talk 4-4, but everyone that knows me, I am a Philadelphia Union beat reporter. And so I got a lot on the mind, a lot on the brain, and I got to dive into right away, right off the bat. I got to dive into this soccer club because something has happened, and I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand the decision. If you guys watch me on the Attack and Third this past week, I had the voice of Philadelphia Union, Dave Leonard, join my show. And the Philadelphia Union, as we know, as official, made a real chesty move, real daring move, as I would say, because the transfer window, Dan Goslock not being part of the Philadelphia Union, taking their lead goal scorer away, setting them out to a contender. And I scratch my mind of why and trying to understand what they did and why they did it. And I don't get it. I don't understand why the Philadelphia Union decided to move on from Daniel Gazdag because last night's results were there for you. In their last three games, they have one goal. Only one. And I don't understand it. I don't understand why would you move on? I get it. There's probably a lot more going on in the background as far as expiring contracts and all that stuff. But man, they have one goal to show for. Only one. And I don't understand. Why would you do that? Oh, the first listener of the morning, Steve, cousin Steve, what's up, buddy? He goes, is this like sending Trouts connecting to the Rangers? Exactly. Exactly, Steve. This is mind-boggling. But yes, yesterday the Philadelphia Union were in City Field yesterday taking on NYCFC. And this is where I get mad. Granted, Andre Rick made a spectacular save in the beginning of the game. He made a tremendous save. There's no doubt about it. However, however, the I don't care, rookie or not. You've been in the union to development. You've been playing soccer your whole life. You've been a goaltender most of your childhood. I understand you're a young kid. You're wet behind the ears. But why in the world would you come out to almost near the 18 to try to stop Alonso Martinez, which then for you gave him nothing but an easy shot to the net? And then you get up and look like you're yelling at your defense? Bro. Are you kidding me? Like, where do you get the chest hairs and start talking to your defense after a stupid mistake that you made? I don't understand. And then Bradley Cornell in the press conference interview does what a head coach needs to do, and he sticks up for you, you little snot nosed punk. He sticks up for you and says, well, that's on me for not saying it. Yeah, listen, he's saying all the right things. That move alone, I would have yanked you like a fish out of water. I would have had your buns sitting and watching Oliver Simler play the rest of the game. I just don't understand it. I don't understand the process there. I don't understand the thinking there. I don't get it. So I don't get Andre Rick. But yes, the Philadelphia Union, though, at the end of the day, lose. Now, late in the game, they in the second half, they try and get creative. They're trying to find ways. They start pressuring Matt Freeze. And the end result's the same nothing. Nothing. They got nothing to show for it. And it sucks. The Philadelphia Union have nothing to show for. And now they drop down to the 5 seed. They fall to the 5 seed. 4-3-1 is their record. Union fans, are you starting to worry a little bit? As here, I'll go a step further. Bradley Cornell has there been a torn page in his playbook? Because I know he likes to press a lot. I know he likes to get that defense and he likes to press a lot. However, when you're doing all that, there's no defenseman back there. There's no one playing defense in the background. So that leaves, and I've seen this a lot, Nashville's loss last night. The opposition gets these. They make long stretch passes, and there's no one covering the defensive zone, to use hockey terms, and there's an open space. It's embarrassing. Like, why hasn't he made any adjustments for that? He has made no adjustments, Bradley Cornell. And I'm worried a little bit. Like I said, this is still a long stretch of soccer to go on. There was no Andre Blake between the net. And it sucked. But man, Andrew Rourke, who I vouched for, did get in between the pipes. Yes, I could say it was me because I was in the press room. Again, don't need to say it. Don't need to beat that to a drumstick. It was me who said to Jim Curtin last year when he gave Andre Rick a shot. And what did Jim Curtin tell me? That's a bold move. And then 2 days later, Andre Rick's in the lineup. But man, yesterday he definitely showed flashes of him being wet behind the ear. But I didn't like him getting up and yelling at the defense. Like, bro, you're the one leaving and going all the way out to the 18 to try and defend Alonso Martinez. Like, what kind of idiotic decision was that? And that's your thinking, Cap. And your coach trying to defend for you in the media. Like, I got to be honest. You're lucky I wasn't in there because I was covering the Philadelphia Wings. But if I was, trust me, you would have the hardball questions would have came. But anyway, yeah. So guys, listen, the Philadelphia Union, like I said, are Union fans. Are you showing? Is there a little bit concerns? Should there be a little bit concerns with this soccer club now after 3 games? Because they have yet to get back into the win column. I'm worried. The Philadelphia Union are struggling a little bit. Are definitely struggling. And like I said, life without guys like so to me, who's going to be the guy to step up next? Who's it going to be? Where's the score going to come from? Because Ty Baribo has looked good very early, but Ty Baribo hasn't been scoring the back of the net, and then it's like, then what? And then what? And then I get it. We've seen it. The contract, the Dan Gazda contract, we've seen it. We've seen it. We're going to get money back. Are the Philadelphia Union going to spend it on players? Probably not. They're going to probably spend it on practice facilities because that's what they do best. They don't spend on players. They're probably going to build another practice facility. Talking practice, not a game. We're talking practice. We're not talking about a stadium. We're talking practice. But yeah, and two, um, oh, my main man, Joe Sullivan. What's up, Joe? Hey guys, this is my man Joe Sullivan. Catch him tomorrow night, 6 o'clock on the Sully Squad. That's my main guy right there. That's my main man. Good morning, Joe. Um, which call it says, cousin Steve says, is it starting to feel like just maybe Torch was the wrong fit here? You know what, Steve? I don't get it. You know why? Because Steve, and I'm glad I listen. You're talking hockey. You're right in my lane there, pal. I don't think it was Torts at all. Usually in hockey, it's we know once the coach goes, then the talent wants to step up because they know then it's them that has to get traded. And this is probably Mitchkov and the rest of the Flyers giving their middle fingers to Torts on his way out the door. Like I liked Torts, and back in 2020 when the Flyers hired him, me and Mike Laro looked at each other and we're screaming no. We're screaming no. This is the wrong hire. But as the time of John Tortorella has progressed and has gone through, I've seen a different side of John Tortorella. I've seen a more mature coach. Yes, does he show that he's a loose cannon at times? Yeah, but I'm not mad with him. I think he did a decent job trying to teach and show the young guys of the league how to play. But I just feel like it's like going to a business that's been run the same way for years and years and years by the Broad Street bullies and those acolytes, where it's hard to turn around the culture of this team. And he was trying his best to turn it around. I like Torres, but his time may be up. It's already up there, Pad. It's already up. I don't think. Does he land somewhere else? Maybe. I don't think anybody in this day and age can handle his way of coaching. I think the league's gotten too soft, and he's an old school coach. But again, like to me, like I've heard the same story about like when John Tortorella came in here. Uh, I thought nothing less. I thought it was just like AV. That's not a bad call, Joe. Yeah, Torts may go to TV. He might do some TV. He might do some TV time. I mean, listen, as a broadcaster, that probably fits the bill. Him being like a national, TNT broadcast guy. I'm pretty sure those guys would like to know what the heck went on behind the scenes here. Apparently, there was more rumors that going out and more collision between him and Cam York. I mean, the ugly stuff really does start to pour out between the relationship between him and a couple of young players. But it is what it is. I just hope the next guy. I don't really look at the coaching position to be the issue. I go back to the front office. I'm tired of hearing that we're going to rebuild in 2 to 3 years. That's what they tell the Flyers sheep, because that's where the Flyer sheep and the season ticket holders, that's where they feel comfortable, because they're on the seat of their pants waiting for this thing to turn around. And to me, it's just never going to. It's just never going to. But listen, I didn't want to shift gears too much. And I appreciate let's I mean it's a great conversation to have though. Steve says Flyers and Rangers have been recycling the same coaches triangle for the last 16 years. Yeah, listen, Steve, you're right about that. Like Peter Laviolette, John Tortorella, the AV, the list goes on. Like I don't want another retread ex-Flyer coach in here. Like a lot of people I've been hearing want Rick Tocchet. I don't want Rick Tocchet. No offense to Rick Tocchet. I don't want him. I want somebody who's young, like, and just knows the league. Like I want somebody of an offensive or defensive coordinator from like Tampa or the Panthers, somewhere in there, someone from a winning organization that's going to take this team to the next level. That's not your typical yes man. It's not a puppet to Danny Barrera and Keith Jones. But anyway, let's talk some Phillies. Let's talk about those fighting Phillies, because yesterday they put up a fight. Yesterday they came through. Nick Castellanos with 2 doubles. He looked good yesterday. He looked good, but there's an issue I have. Playing the small ball this team, but there's an issue that I have. And here goes it right here. Is it time for Alec Bohm to head down to Piggy Land? I think so. I think it may be time for Alec Bohm to head down to Piggy Land. One hit in his last, almost 20 appearances, something like that. He finally gets a hit. That's not going to cut the cheese there, pal. It's not going to do it. You're not producing at the plate. You're striking at, and why he's become the whipping boy is because the way he carries himself as a professional, his body language, the frustrations that he shows at the plate and in the dugout. That's why he's the whipping boy. But because if you look at it in hindsight, that whole lineup is a whipping boy. Brandon Marsh. Like, why does he get the pass? Wasn't he has seen? If anybody needs to see Piggy Land, it should be him. Like you look at yesterday's game, right? You look at Miles Mikolas, right? 6 Ks, and you know what he just did? All he was just doing it was throwing curveballs and changeups that had this whole entire lineup swinging for the fences. And I don't understand. I don't understand. He had 2 pitches in his arsenal. And we struggled at times. But like I said, I know we're harping on Alec Bohm. Let me give you a rundown of this within these two series because you still got to play today. But just from Tuesday up until now, the Philadelphia Phillies lineup have 47 Ks. Tuesday, 9 Ks. Wednesday, 14 Ks. Thursday, 10 Ks. Friday, 4 Ks. And yesterday, 10 Ks. That doesn't all come from Alec Bohm. So he shouldn't just be the whipping boy. He gets the whipping boy because the way he carries himself after he shows frustrations at the plate and in the dugout. That's why he's the whipping boy. And it should not always be on him. And now, if you listen to the broadcast or you listen to Ben Davis says he's going to get together. No need to show panic. Well, as a Phillies fan, I'm showing a little bit of panic. Why is he batting eighth now? You know what I mean? You're trying to make it where there's less pressure batting at the back end. I mean, you might as well give him a few days of sit or send him the piggy land. He might need it. Steve says Nola could take a page out of Sanchez's book and pitch to contact to get the DP. Listen, the double play. How about that? Five double plays. And I do want to talk Nola because it's weird. He does show signs. This happens every April. He's very cold, Steve. I don't know. I mean, he just rolls with the weather. Cold in April, but when it gets to the dog days of summer, he's cooking. And people are worried about his velocity, his commands. Like you watched him on Thursday, he had 5 Ks up until that 5th inning, and then it was a snowball effect. There's something that's a mental issue. Like he doesn't just screw up a play and move on to the next one. There's something in here that he's having issues with. Steve says, "I really wonder if Bohm needs an eye. I wonder if Bohm needs an eye exam. No joke. Looks like he hasn't been picking up the spin on the ball. No, listen, he's been struggling bad. There's no doubt about it, Steve. Alec Bohm is not been playing well on this road trip, and neither is really, like I said, the rest of the lineup. But yeah, he's starting to stink it up a bit. He's stinking it up. You can't have that. It doesn't matter lefty versus righty, that whole situation thing. He needs to step up. He needs to come through, and he hasn't, to be honest with you. But it just goes to show you like he needs to play better. So does the rest of the lineup. Now, like I said, yesterday you got some contact from Nick Castellanos, which is great. He contributed big yesterday. Alvarado has been playing lights out and being your closer. That's the signs of pluses. Christopher Sanchez yesterday, he only had 4 Ks. I mean, look, he squeaked one out and having multiple double plays, and he pitched all the way up to the 7th inning. But again, he's still, to me, he's still the same pitcher. I mean, he throws sliders, changeups. He doesn't have a fastball in his repertoire. Not having speed makes lumps worse. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. He probably needs to go see the doctor. But yeah, it's bad at this point with him, Steve. It is. But like I said, the scary part is though, Steve, if you sit Bohm and to me, the reason they haven't done it yet, who do you have to replace? Yes. Yes. Sanchez pitched to perfect Sanchez game. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Steve, like who do you have to replace Alec Bohm? Who? Where? Who's off the bench going to do a better job? And if you do bench him, is that showing Topper? Is Topper showing a panic move already? Now moving him down in the lineup is showing that he's on the cusp of getting ready to bench him, but he's just willing to make the adjustments and trying to get right with them. But yeah, he might need to miss a day. But to me, like I don't think they have anybody who's willing to step up. I mean, maybe Sosa, right? But then you have to make some adjustments and all that. But that's fine. But again, it's just I don't think Baum wants to quickly or not Baum Topper wants to push the button too fast. So yeah, it's like I said, the Phillies though they'll be on the hill today. You got Zach Wheeler's on the hill. Little concerning. His last outing on Tuesday in Atlanta wasn't his best baseball. I imagine he's going to get back in his head today. Even though he gave up, he put up 7 Ks, but he gave up 8 hits, 3 walks, and 1 homer. So, like I said, he didn't play his best baseball either. So, I'm curious to see what happens. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen today with the Phils. Can they win the series? Because, the series against the Braves, and the Braves stink, by the way. They just somehow, again, it's a rival game. I get it. Because we are 9-5. We're tied for first place in the East with the Mets right now. We're fifth overall in the NL. I mean, that West is just playing phenomenal baseball right now. The Padres, the Dodgers. I mean, the Giants. I mean, they're playing good baseball out there. Adam, good morning, my friend. He goes, "What's up, Pat? Changing the lineup already?" Old Topper. Hey, listen, you have to change up the lineup a little bit. And he needs to send a message, though, to this lineup because it seems like it's the same thing that we saw last year. I just think that I think Topper knows the potential's there. It's just that he's not panning out right now. Maybe a couple days won't hurt sitting him down. Let Sosa fill in. Just make the adjustments and go forward from there. But you can't continue to lay down like this. And like I just mentioned, 47 Ks within the 2 series so far. From Tuesday up till now, the Phillies have 47 Ks under their belt. That's not good baseball. That's not good. It sucks. And guys, this is It's a Wrap Sports Network with your boy Pat Bernard, the Wraparound. You are joining me live, and yeah, and I appreciate everybody who's chimed into this show. I really do. Hit like, subscribe, share it to your friends. Let them know about It's a Wrap Sports. Bomber needs to be made to appreciate his job. Listen, I think Bohm Steve really does appreciate trying to be in a lineup. He's struggling right now, which is not fine. I'm not going to give him no leeway. And my name's not Elsa Fury, the Homer lawyer. He makes excuses for everybody who goes through a struggle, unlike the realists like me and Matty B. I don't know. Maybe it's a Northeast thing, but there's definitely something in the water with the Delco guys making excuses for everybody. But it's to me though. It's he needs to sit, and like I said, it's just possible signs that he needs to go down in piggy land, and he may have to do that for a little bit. Like you're batting 180, 170, something like that. That's not what a World Series contender does. There's no cracks in the wall with a World Series contender. You can't have that. You need guys batting 2 something, not 1 something. But like I said, though, it's just a shame that he's catching on the flock, and I get it. He doesn't do anything to better himself in this situation, but like Marsh is an issue, Rojas is an issue. Other than Schwarber, really on a consistent basis, who else is producing? Like, you know what I mean? Who else is producing? Who on a consistent basis? Nobody. And by the way, does you guys like so far seeing Stott in the doing the lead up position? Do you guys like seeing that? You guys like seeing Stott leading off for this team? It's not a bad choice, but that could have possibly, if you think about it, that could have been a spot for probably for Baum if he was playing well. That probably had Alec Baum just that's got him written all over to be a leadoff hitter. But the way he's just been playing so horribly, you can't. But like yesterday, I mean, we could talk about the at bats. Stott made a great defensive play, but how about the blooper he made? Where he could have provided another double play. And he muffed it right out of his hands. Like he looked dumbfounded. He like lost the ball up in the air and he falls down. I don't know. But hopefully, like I said, the Phillies could get their job done today. Hopefully, they could win the series against the St. Louis Cardinals. Maybe Willard get back into playing like an ace today. Before you come back home. So that, like I said, it's going to be a nice, telling story to see what happens from here on out. But yeah, you need the lineup to come through. Great, I'm grateful for the win yesterday, but I like to see a couple more guys come through, start finding their getting to a stride. I know it's early. I know there's still a lot of baseball left. But I just want to see this team start, putting together some wins. Love to see that. Love to see this Phillies team to put together some wins. But if you guys saw yesterday's Phillies game, please tell me what you saw. Do you guys agree with me? Do you think that Ball maybe should go down to Piggy Land to get his head on straight, to work on a couple things? go back to the farm system to really get some things together because he could use some work. Let's be honest. But like I said, the pitching so far, other than Nola, even Taiwan Walker has been fun to watch. I can't believe I'm even saying that. And no one spiked my coffee here. No one spiked the coffee here. I'm actually talking about Taiwan Walker has actually made a change. He's actually been pitching a little bit better than he has been in the previous years. So, but like I said, we'll see if the Phillies can win today. You guys think the Phillies can get the job done today? Please chime into the show. I'd love to hear from you. And so forth. But it's time to get into my other topic. And my other topic I wanted to get into today is greatness. Because this past week, actually, it was last week, that number 8, the great 8, passed the great one's record. And I just feel like no one's really. I mean, I saw ESPN bring it up a whole lot, and I've seen all the memes and all that stuff. But I want to talk about the greats because Ovi, like I said, cracks the great one's record, a record that's been held since '99. I mean, 2.5 decades we're talking. And I respect the greats. I loved it. Like I said, everyone who knows me knows I love hockey. I could talk puck for days. But it just goes to show me like what's happened to the sports fan. Because growing up in the '90s and where I came from, everybody would talk everything sports. It was like talking 4 for 4 every day. And I can't watch. It doesn't matter. Like this is the reason I watch all 4 sports. I watch all sports because I respect greatness and not just like and maybe that's just not just the case anymore. Like I feel like everybody has become so territorial, I guess is the word. Like growing up where I come from, like I said, I could watch the Capitals and Penguins. Or I could watch late night, and I could watch the LA Kings taking on the Oilers. I'll watch that stuff, but I just feel like no one really watches outside of their home teams anymore. Like no one cares. And I love, like I said, Ovi cracking this record. Like I love the fact that Ovi did it. LeBron James not too long ago becomes the all-time leading scorer for NBA. Like that's those guys, the Ovies, LeBrons, the Tom Brady's, the Crosbys, the KD's, the Steph Curry's. Like enjoy this ride. This is like a plenty of greatness in all Kershaw's, a plenty of in all major sports, and just enjoy it. My right hand man, my man Steve Fernandez from the Attack and Third chime into the show. Goes, good morning, my man. How about those boys in blue? Ouch. They are strung offensively right now. Look, Steve, I think to answer your question, I think that the Philadelphia Union forget there's 2 halves of soccer, not just one, because they showed up in the second half. I don't know where they were in the first half. And Steve, if you called me this morning, I opened the show, the cojones. The cojones. on IJ Rick coming outside to the 18, trying to stop Arland Alfonso Martinez and gets denied and look like a simpleton. And he starts yelling at his defense. What are you doing, Holmes? Rookie or not? You've been in the MLS, you've been in the Union Farm system to know not to make that dumb mistake. That's a rookie costly mistake. But anyway, like I said, so guys, I mean, what's this generation? What does Ovi mean? Because like I said, like to me, this is crazy. Like I never would have thought that Wayne Gretzky, the great one's record would ever be cracked. And it's done by the great eight. Like I appreciate this generation's talent. And that's why I think we need to just get back to being sports fans. Like the sports fan is just so territorial anymore. It's crazy. Even the like you when you look at jerseys anymore, there's not really like the cool logos you're looking for. Everyone's got to state where they're from. Yeah, I know where you're from. I know who you don't need to put it on your jersey. I don't think. I want to see the cool logos. Like I always mention one of my favorite logos in sports of all time was that mid late 90 Detroit Pistons logo with the fire horse. I thought that was one of the most dopiest, coolest looking jerseys of all time. Sports logos. But now everyone wants to represent their cities. I get it. I know where you're from. I want to see cool. I think that's what makes the sports jerseys is the cool looking logos. Steve says real bad from Rick there, 100%. In reality, lazy play from Gleznes on that play. Union missed their greatness and Andre Blake last night. Listen, yeah, Steve, I hear you. The problem I have, though, and I think this is the problem with Bradley Cornell's playbook, he hasn't made the adjustment where he likes to stack the offensive zone so much that there's no one in the backfield to help defend their goalie. This has happened a few times. This happened in the Nashville game. This has happened in Orlando. Just lucky you did have Andre Blake back then, because if it was anybody else, they would have got cooked. But yes, Andre Rick cannot be making idiotic mistakes. I vouch for this man, Steve. I vouch for this man to be up here. Now he's making me look bad. But yeah, so I want to know to you, everyone who's checked into the show, are you still watching other teams out other than Philly? Are you still into the greatness of guys like Ovi, who's just cracked an amazing accomplishments? Now, like it's crazy because, and that's another thing. I think a lot of people don't really look at records other than the major, like a major one, like Ovi just did. But I mean, everyone just judges you off of rocks anymore. Yes, yes. Bold move, Pat, bold move, as I was told. But yeah, I think like greatness is just being overwhelmed anymore. Like I'm glad I got to witness the Tom Brady run. Be honest, I'm glad growing up in the '90s, I got to witness, the Joe Montana, the trans over to the Tom Brady being the best quarterback of all time. Like I watched Jordan play, I watched Kobe play, I've watched LeBron play, and glad I got to watch it through all that. And like I said, I can respect LeBron. It's weird how people are thinking of LeBron now anymore. yeah, he needs a superstar. Like that whole debate. But either way, whether you like it or not, the guy is a great, phenomenal talent. That he's must-watch TV until he hangs up his cleats, his shoes rather. Like I'm telling you, enjoy this run now, because Ovi's going to be cashing out here soon. So what? Maybe that's the better question. What does it mean for this era of sports? Because we see the next quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and Jalen's up there. We see that kind of talent that's up there, but really, I mean, this era, like I said, Tom Brady's hung up the cleats. Ovi's going to hang up his skates soon. LeBron's going to be hanging it up his shoes. KD's going to be hanging up his shoes. Steph Curry's going to be hanging up his shoes. Crosby's going to be hanging up his skates. Like those guys has been fun to watch. It just sucks that Ovi and Crosby is called Flyers, but no pain. Well, that's the Flyers' fault for never building with him. Steve says I'm locked in on the NBA with LeBron and Luca. Hey, listen, man, it's great TV. It's great. Whether you like it, because a lot of people don't like the fact that Luca went out there. It's kind of pulling them further. That's a whole nother discussion. But I'm just saying, respecting the greatness is, and I think people are missing out. People are really missing out on greatness because it's not in their home jerseys. Like to me, like I said, Ovi, what is Ovi in the tours going for? He gets by the face-all circle. He's got that. He's got that slap shot. He's got that stick ready. Like he's got a shotgun that's pumped up and he's ready to unload. He Steph Curry just to drop threes from anywhere he wants. Amazing talent. Like I said, it's just the errors. I think an end come for a lot of those guys, and I think it's for me. Like I said, growing up in the '80s/90s for childhood, really. I mean, I've had the fair share of Montana, Jordan, just to name a few. Gretzky. And I think everybody was talking more of those guys. And now you look at today, it's just like no one really wants to talk about the greatness of LeBron or the Ovi. Like I said, Ovi really made it an achievement, cracking a record that's been held for almost 3 decades. And I don't like really hear people in the streets talking about it. And I think we need to get that back. So I think that's the better the question. What does this generate? Like I said, because those guys are going to be hanging up soon. They're the phase of that cloud's about to move on, and it's a shame. And it is what it is. So, guys, like I said, though, it's like I said, I got to enjoy this run. I'm pretty sure whether I don't know how much time Ovi has left in the tank. Yesterday, he was a healthy scratch, rightfully so, getting ready for the playoffs. Like Steve mentioned, like he's locked into the NBA playoffs, and that's another thing too. That's another little bit of a discussion. Like because your home team is not in the playoffs doesn't mean you should not watch. Like I'm going to be locked in. Like I'm a winter weirdo in that aspect. I hate the weather, but I love football, basketball, and hockey when it's running out at its peak. nowhere to go, watching hockey, late night basketball. Like that's your Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday comes around, you get NFL. Like I love the fall, late fall, and winter stuff right there. My three favorite sports. I'm like an owl. Woo, woo, watching all three sports. But yeah, I know. But to get back to it, I mean, like I'm gonna be looking in for like just watching great. What team's going to emerge, what underdog team's going to make a run, see what top tier team runs out of fuel. That stuff excites me. But yeah, so again, don't miss out on the greats, man. This is a great time in sports. Great time in sports. Like again, talk a little bit more about LeBron since Steve brought him up. 42,184 points LeBron has, and everybody dishes him. He needs a super team. This, that. Just enjoy the ride. Just respect the talent. All that other mumbo jumbo, I don't care about. But yeah. So I mean, what does it, and I'd like to know for you guys, what do these great guys, this generation mean to you? Ovi cracking the great one's record, Wayne Gretzky's record. What does it mean to you? It's a heck of an accomplishment. Like I said, an accomplishment that's a record that's been held for almost 3 decades, and Ovi cracks it. Like to me, yeah, Ovi only has one rock, but I mean, he's got to be up there. I don't know if you put him on your Mount Rushmore in sports figures, but man, he's done it, and it's weird. Like he's like when you look at sports, Ovi is the if you want to use wrestling terms, he's like the baby face. Everyone really likes Ovi. Crosby, to a lot of Flyers fans, have that hate to face, but I still admire the guy's greatness. I think a lot of Flyer fans are just jealous he just never put the Flyer jersey on. And it's crazy because still this day you get some Flyer fans. Oh, I couldn't. Oh, no, I wouldn't. If Crosby came here tomorrow and said I want to play for the Philadelphia Flyers, I know I'd be a sucker to run out to Foreman Mills and buy myself the next Flyer, Crosby jersey ASAP. I wouldn't care. Great talent's talent. I'm not denying it. Love to have some talent, great talent come through here. Love to see it. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get ready to wrap up the show here. Phillies on today, 2 o'clock, 2:15, I think. Mike Lauro will have the call for you on the fight finals today. Stick around for that. You're not going to miss it here on It's a Wrap Sports. See if the Phillies can win a series, close out the series, and get themselves another win. Philadelphia Union need to get themselves back on track. And like I said, the greatness. Just admire it because soon we're going to have NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, NLL playoffs soon. Yes, I'm a lacrosse person too. Yes, I am everyone knows I am a Wings beat reporter. I was down at the barn yesterday for fan appreciation night for your Philadelphia Wings. Wait for that team to close out, get themselves a win. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because next week I'm going to talk Phillies. I'm going to talk a little bit of Union. It's WrestleMania weekend. I'm going to ask the fans about their all-time favorite WrestleMania match. But it's almost draft time. We got to start talking Eagles here. Because to me, the Eagles are no longer your Super Bowl champions. This is when the season starts, in my eyes. It's a brand new season. What's Uncle Howie going to do? What strings is he going to pull? This is where Howie makes his money. He starts at the draft. Where and how and what is Howie Roseman going to do next Thursday night? 2 weeks from now, the draft comes through, and Howie's going to have to start making moves. And I might have to bring a surprise guest in to break this all down. But yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun for your Philadelphia Eagles, and see what Howie does. Where will they go? Are they going to move up? Are they going to move back? All that stuff. It's going to be interesting. And I might, like I said, I'm going to bring a couple guests on next week to break this all down. So, guys, stay with me next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun here on the wraparound with your boy Pat Bernard. Because it's time. It's almost draft time, and we got to start talking what the Birds are going to do. What moves are they going to make? Interesting times. But yeah, guys, listen, I'm your boy Pat Bernard. I appreciate this morning. Like I said, don't go anywhere tonight. We still have Mike Lauer coming up for the finals. We still have Matty B coming on, the Night Owl, the Mayor Mayfair coming on at 10 o'clock tonight. So for all you night owls who don't sleep, make sure you turn to Matty B. You never know what's run through his mind. It might be a scary place to go through Matty B's mind. But Matt keeps it real with you. Matt will keep it real. That's why we love Matty B. But yeah, so guys, listen. For me, Pat Bernard, I want to say thank you to everyone who's watched. Cousin Steve, Joe Sullivan, Adams, Steve. Stay tuned, because here on It's a Wrap, the hottest thing out there. We are the hottest network. Where this is where the big boys play. This is the Hungry Dogs. So, guys, check us out. We still have more to come. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great afternoon. Go Phillies.